How are you?
Yeah, very good. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. That's Ona Kirei. You pronounce it Kirei, your last name?
Ah, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's my French. I speak French, so that's what it is. So
Good.
yeah, I'm so excited about your project
Thank you.
because, well, first of all, how are you?
I'm good. I'm very good.
And
Thank you.
how have you been dealing with this whole crazy situation?
I have been dealing with it the best I could. Yeah, I mean, like all of us, we are trying to adapt and trying to stay positive and trying to keep on doing music, which is a huge challenge right now. I am very lucky though, because I also teach music. So I still teaching music. I have been doing mostly online lessons. I have been doing also, right now I'm starting to have in-person lessons and combining them. So at least, I have work. So I can't complain. I'm very, very lucky. But, you know, it has been tough. The toughest thing, I think, it's like less concerts and less audiences and right. But this will be in the past someday.
Yes, soon, I hope.
Yes.
Yeah, like indeed, like I think like everybody is on like live event withdrawal right now. It's like it's gonna be so refreshing when we can finally safely like do it
Yeah.
again. And it's like I hope that it will change society's perception of music and live arts, in their mind, because you know we need it, whether the society at large realize it or not, and sometimes I feel like we're like in French we have this expression like a coup d'épée dans l'eau, like a sword trying to cut water with a sword, like a waste of energy. But I hope that this will like reinforce my belief that we need live music and live art. To me, like arts is one thing, like life is one thing, the universe, it's all connected, but I'm very excited about your project because first of all, well, you're playing with musicians I know well, and they know us well, and we have this town loves these musicians, and I don't know if you've ever played in Orlando, but not at Timucua, and I cannot wait for our audience to meet you.
Oh, thank you.
And
I
to get
can't
to
wait
know you.
to meet your audience.
Yes, well, this time it's going to be virtually, so it's going to be more one-sided, I'm afraid. But although when we rebroadcast it, there is an opportunity there for you to connect with the audience directly during the performance via chat, and like on Facebook, on social media, like you can
Oh, that's awesome.
interact with them in real time, which is pretty cool because you don't necessarily, I mean, you get their energy, but you don't get to converse while you're performing. But this is a side effect of virtual performances, is that if they're like, so we're going to get the live portion, like the live event on Sunday, but afterwards, like maybe next year, we're going to broadcast it again, and this is when it's like and a lot of people love watching it for the second time. It's kind of like a movie you love, oftentimes you will watch it again the second time to get to all of the subtleties and the little things you missed, the first time around. So, but what's very special about your project is that you're singing in different languages. And so because a lot of people, of course, here speak Spanish, and a lot of people speak Portuguese, in at least the Brazilian flavor, because there's a large Brazilian community in Orlando. A lot of people don't speak Catalan and Basque and the other language like Galician. What's
Galician? Yes.
Galician. So so it's going to be very interesting to have these songs, and I've been working on it, trying to make these presentation like one line at a time for the lyrics to present as subtitles. And so thank you for providing me the translations in English, for people who don't speak any of these languages. They can at least follow the meaning of the songs as well as what they're going to glean from your performance. So my son is gonna run those. So the big challenge is going to be to make sure he's on the right line, you know. But the advantage we have, because we speak French, so actually, like, Catalan is very, very close. Like, I mean, when I'm reading it, I understand everything. So I probably would not, like, I did not hear a lot of it. I was in Barcelona. I went to Valencia. I went to Catalonia a few years back, and I loved it over there. You know, the mountains and everything. It's beautiful.
Me too.
And, the funny thing is, in Barcelona, we spent a week in Barcelona, and we used Airbnb throughout this vacation. I think it was, I want to say maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and we in Barcelona, it was just at the east, like the next town over, like it was a 10-minute train ride. Like, it was super fast. We lived on a Second World War RAF rescue boat in the marina. That was moored in the marina. So that was the Airbnb room, like the place, you know. And so it was really cool. It was like we stayed on a boat for a week, and then we take the train every day and go to Barcelona and walk. And, like, you know, we walked across this city's very unique city, of course. And we try to stay. It's hard to stay away from the tourists in Barcelona, because the tourists are everywhere. They used to be. I'm sure it's less. Anyways, but so hopefully, and of course, I speak Spanish and he speaks Spanish a little bit. So, you know, those languages, like Basque, I don't know. I've worked with a Basque clown, or, well, an actor, I should say. Because I worked at the circus for many years, 18 years, you know, at the Cirque du Soleil here. And the main character of the show, for the first, I don't know how many years, maybe 7, 8 years, she was she was a Basque, and she was a silent actress. Like, so she went across Europe before and after, and she played, like, she did theater in a troupe, a small troupe, that they never spoke. So it's not mime, it's acting without words. So she was very expressive, you know, like, so she was very good. She was very good. Plus, she was the princess at the end, and I was the prince, you know, like, so it was interesting because anyways, it's a long story. I digress. But I'm just all this to say that I'm very, very excited about the project, and I hope we do it well and we don't mess it up.
I hope so too.
Because it's gonna be like baked in the video, you know, so that's it. It's there to stay after. But maybe I'm gonna put my son Charles and you in contact, just to, perhaps you have recordings of your songs and things, so that he can, like, practice beforehand.
Oh, absolutely.
Make sure that he does a good job. And maybe maybe he's gonna have questions, and he could resolve those questions, as opposed to, like, trying it cold live, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this is a first for us. Like, it's a first trying to put live subtitles, like, in a live situation. I've done it before afterwards, but not live. So I'm excited because it makes a lot. It makes it accessible to more people in a way. And so, and we might start doing that, even if it's in English, as closed captioning for people who are hard of hearing, that kind of thing. So awesome. We also have a few projects. I don't know about yours, because it was so soon. I don't think we could make it happen, but we have a project ongoing with ASL translators, so sign language, they're gonna do it from home via Zoom, and I'm just gonna put, like, a little picture within the picture of
awesome.
A live translator doing it live. So maybe for you, maybe I will try to do it afterwards, so that in the rebroadcast, maybe whenever we do it next year, it could be an enhanced version of the performance with the
when we know for sure where the words are.
Yes, yeah. Well, the thing is, like, if my son does it correctly with the subtitles, then she can use that to practice with and get it right. If we get it wrong a couple of times, like, let's say it's not going to be perfect, then we can adjust. I can tell her, hey, at this spot, it was one phrase behind or whatever. Hopefully not. I mean, we should be in the right song. That's a good start. If we're in the right song.
That's more than enough. I'm so excited about this because, you know, my country, it's a country of poetry. And that's one of the things I love most about all of these songs that, I mean, you have the translation. So if you read them, there's a lot of poetry on all of these songs. And I always want to, you know, talk and explain the lyrics to the audience. And I mean, I never do it completely because I would be all the time talking, you know, at the same time as singing. But so I think that's a great idea. Yeah, I'm very excited about it.
And I also noticed that, you know, some of them are either poems that you yourself put to music, or poems that someone else put to music that you arranged,
Yes.
or you know, so like you've basically like explained to me where you found the source material, what's the project, like how the project took shape for you, like how did it work?
Okay, the project began when I came here. I emigrated with my husband 3 years ago to Tampa. We came straight from Spain. We were living in Madrid. And as you know, when one emigrates, it's like a whole inner process, right? You change, you just, there are so many things to process. And I just needed to do this. I just needed to do this project so I could process. It was like also a way to look back at my roots, because when I was living in Spain, I'm kind of ashamed to say that, but I wasn't that interested in that traditional music as I am now, right? It was like a part of me, of course, but that wasn't my main project. But when I came here, it was like I personally needed to do that, to explore my roots from the person I am now, like personally and music-wise. So I began in a very natural, organic way. Just, you know, I was at home and I was sitting down on the piano. I always compose sitting down on the piano, and I just started to play songs that I liked as a kid, traditional Catalan songs, or just popular songs from Spain, and that kind of things. So that's how the project began, and that's how it sounds. It's very natural, it's very organic, and it's just it's my personal point of view of my homeland.
And so you were living in Madrid before you immigrated here, but you grew up in the
in
east
Barcelona.
of the country, yeah.
Yes.
So you want to talk about that, because there, it's a, obviously Spain is a, I mean, you know, in Europe there are several countries that are like, I don't want to say tribal, but you know, they have like different cultures in different parts of the country. Yes. Spain is an especially diverse country culturally.
It is.
Tell people about that.
Yeah, I love talking about that. So Spain, it's actually a country of countries. That's the best way I can say it. The Iberian Peninsula, it's actually made of countries. And I'm not talking about politics here. I'm talking about cultures, about traditions, about languages. Politics is another thing, right? So you have Catalonia, and we have our language there. We obviously speak Spanish. We also speak Catalan, and there's a traditional music there, and there's a history there. And then you go to the Basque Country, and you have Euskera, or Basque, which is the language there, which is completely different to Spanish, like absolutely different. Like they don't even know where's the origin. It's not. It doesn't even come from Latin, like Romance languages. Then you have Galicia, which has a lot of Celtic influence, among others. Then you have the South, with all of this flamenco tradition, all of this, you know, what is what people think about when they think of Spain. There's so much more. There's a lot of languages, cultures.
And of course, Portugal too.
And Portugal, which is included on this project, of course, because I am in love with Portugal.
And they have their own, like, they have their own, like, version of the, it's not flamenco, but you know, like they have their own
the fados,
and the whole like color of the, you know, and not to mention, of course, that, you know, Spain is, first of all, the Basque, like not only culturally but genetically is the oldest, like they have the oldest roots, genetic roots in Europe, like very old culture. Yes. And then of course the influence of the Middle East in the Middle Ages, and you know, yes. All of the, like, you know, architecture, you know, the whole like medicine and all these like I don't know, like ideas, philosophy, and everything, like
Mm-hmm.
influenced by, you know, and then the Basque and the French, you know, and the Basque and you know, because Basque is kind of like the bridge between France and Spain in a way, like, you know, like
Yeah.
the,
The Basque Country and also Catalonia, they are
yeah,
like two bridges to Spain.
yeah,
Actually, if you go to the border of those two places, almost everybody speaks French.
yeah, and for sure, Catalan is very close to French. Like it's, you know, blue is pluie, like it's so close, like it's sometimes almost ridiculous. And in fact, like if you go to Provence, you know,
Mm-hmm.
they have their own in Occitan language is, I think, quite close to Catalan.
Uh-huh, it
You know,
is.
it's very different, but it's very close too. There's like
Yes.
it's a it's not Latin, it's not Italian, it's not French, it's like it's nothing, like it's nothing. It's but it's, I think, closely related to Catalan,
It is. Mm-hmm.
which kind of makes sense. You know, it's like they're not that far apart. Like
Yes,
a
that's
boat ride in good weather.
mm-hmm, that's completely true. And another interesting thing is that the Basque Country, that it's actually called the Basque Country, even though it's not officially a country, it's called the Basque Country, and it has a part of it in Spain and a part of it in
In
France.
France, yes.
So the people from the Basque Country in France, they speak French and Euskera, and a lot of them, they speak Spanish. And on the south, on the part in speak Spanish and Euskera, and a lot of them French. So.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I definitely love the country when I visited, and you know, I have friends who live there, you know, who work there. Definitely, like musically, the Barcelona music scene was awesome. It was awesome. It was very reminiscent of Montreal, where I'm from,
Mm-hmm.
and so we felt very much at home in Barcelona. And, you know, after dinner, which is very late there, you know,
Yes.
like
And
from
it's like a
there
very
until,
big deal, like
yes,
having
like,
a dinner, talking, the sobremesa,
yeah,
like,
that whole part of the day, it was like I was back home. Like it felt like home. It was so good. So anyways, thank you so much for talking to me.
of course, thank you.
So basically your show is on Sunday.
Yes.
I'm gonna put this interview out before then. So it's on Sunday at 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
You can find it at timucua.com/events. If you're on Facebook, Timucua Arts Foundation. So it's facebook.com/Timucua
Facebook.com.
Arts Foundation. And or I'm sure on your Facebook page, it's also there. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not hard to find. If you want to find it, you will find it. And we hope that you catch it because it's going to be absolutely, absolutely great.
Thank you so much. We are very, very excited about it. Thank you, Bernard. Bye.